and I both grew up in the Austin music scene. I had a narrative feature that was about bands trying to sell weed to fund a tour, you know, punk rock bands in the Austin scene. So it was right up our alley. It was happening in our backyard with people that we knew. And so for me, it wasn't particularly, I have two brothers, so there was an interest, I was interested in women in the sense of, you know, as a writer and a storyteller, you know, to understand women a little bit better. I didn't, you know, I had two brothers, so, you know, a little on the outside looking in. So that was appealing, but more it was basically they were forming a band, you know, a band with 60 women in it. And so it kind of had that appeal. It had the appeal of, for me, something cool and unique from the Austin Underground, something that nobody else was doing, and it's something that people were really passionate about. And as you see how the story unfolded and where we went with the story, because you could pick 10 stories out of anything you film. You could have made Girls Gone Wild, you know, 90 minutes of fluff and fighting and TNA. That was never an interest for us. I mean, we're interested in that kind of thing, don't get us wrong, but as far as the movie's concerned, like, I didn't think that would sustain 90 minutes, you know.
Did you just say you can't go 90 minutes?
For most people, just saying, you know, blanket statement here, but we just went where the story told, where it started to tell us, and that's what took 6 years too, is that we didn't want to abandon the Bank Track League before they had a chance to rebound. It took them a long time to rebound, but we didn't want to just leave them in the as Luna says, leave them in the gutter, or whatever she says. We wanted to give them a chance to do what they wanted to do, so we hung in there. But I mean, it was cool. Yeah, we got to film roller derby for several years. That can't be too bad. I try to go to at least one game a year, and I watch the Nationals on the internets when I can. So I'm bummed that Texas keeps getting beaten by the Ole Rollers.
Those damn Ole's.
I know. They're badass, though. I give it to them. Did anybody else have any questions? Yeah.
Do you think that your presence at those meetings added, I mean, the sense of maybe wanting, not necessarily acting for the camera, but do you think the sense that the knowledge that they were being filmed added a certain extra dramaticism? Maybe they, like, it just kind of pumped up the ire a little bit, or they, you know, I don't know exactly how to word what I'm saying here, but, you know.
I think I know what you're getting at, but.
It maybe affected a little bit of what happened there, and do you think that evolved any of the hostility at all in any way? Or?
There are definitely people that are more aware that you're there, but they're surrounded by so many women all the time, and we had small cameras. We were as unobtrusive as possible. Heather Burdick, who's on the film, one of the CEOs, I was always aware that she was aware of us being there, and she was very guarded about what she said. Anya, who clearly kind of doesn't have that filter, it's just like thinks this comes out, you know, which I admire, that kind of brutal honesty, but it can also, you know, stroke people the wrong way, if you will. So there was definitely some of that. I think as the months and months went on, there were times where, and I don't know if they were being completely honest, but they'd look over and they'd go, oh, I didn't even know you were filming that. You know, you've been there the whole time. But particularly during interviews, everyone has the chance, obviously, to try to get the information they want to get across to you, that they want to see put in the movie. And as a middle child, too, I was always interested in people's motives. So I always wanted to know why they were doing what they're doing, not just what they're doing and, you know, feeling the fire. But definitely it varies, but certainly that was a factor. And anyone would be a fool to say that the documentaries can be entirely objective. Like, there's a camera there. The objectivity's gone. You can try to be, you know, as close as you can get, but you're changing reality just by your presence. Right. Yeah.
Did Austin already have like a big skating, like there was skate rinks, like?
No. Austin, the skating rinks were like 20 minutes out of town. You know, it was a pain in the ass, and I lived on the south side of town. It was like up in Canada, basically. So yeah, there's not a skating culture there. You know, it's got a great music scene. It's a very liberal town. It embraces all sorts of things. You know, the motto is keep Austin weird. So it embraces all sorts of unusual things, encourages creativity and oddness. But yeah, their bouts were on the outskirts of town, and actually, you know, drew in a lot of people. So that was pretty cool. But
so when they had ladies come there and try out, I mean, what skating skill? They just looked for them to stand up on skates.
Pretty much at first, pretty much.
And then they probably, as they went along, there's standards for what they.
Yes, you had to have skill requirements. In the beginning, it was, we'll take anybody. If you want to learn, we'll train you. You know, you might not be in a game for a while because we don't want you to injure yourself. But like there were people like you see in some of in the tryouts here that just couldn't even had been on skates since they were 12. And some of them turned out to be pretty damn good, you know, after a while. Some of them took a long time to get really good, but then they found a place in Derby for themselves, which maybe was as a captain or a trainer or as someone who's involved in management as they develop their skating skills. And that's what's kind of cool about it too, is there's almost a place for anyone, any body size and type. You know, if you're fast and quick, you can be a jammer. If you like to knock people around, you can be a blocker. If you want to help with the organization, there's tons of work for that too. Anybody else have any questions? Well, all right, let me show you some commercials. We are on tour, so I'm selling these fine screen printed posters. And we're touring around, and we're touring a few movies. I made this cool snake oil salesman kit, but basically it's just got DVDs in it. But we're selling copies of the DVD, and there's about 90 minutes of extras on there too. So if you like the movie, or if you wanted more details about stuff, there's a ton of stuff on there. And I also got some free stickers from my other movies, and I got some free rubbers if anybody needs any rubbers. There. So, thanks for coming.
Do they come with pot?
No, you can trade pot for some of this stuff.
We also have Blood in the Flat Track and Brutal Beauty, as well as the Blood and Flat Track soundtrack on sale out there, and all the money goes to the filmmakers. If you guys are interested in that, and they're sitting on the counter. So,
cool. Thanks, Ryan.